Dodge with me. They be hopping and Dodge with me. They be hopping and Dodge with me. Pretty thug, get your chug with me.
Baby hopping and Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug, get your chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs. Baby hopped in and Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug, get your chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs. Baby hop in his Dodge with me. Pulling out the garage with me. White Viper or the 550. Louis store, you can sport Vicky's. Neiman Marcus got a park quick. Know my bitch got a cop 50. Blood of shoes and they all sticky. She roll the weed and she hold the blicky. My other hoes, they be getting jealous. I just fuck 'em when I'm feeling careless. Shorty wildin' and she feel rebellious. Out late, she gon' send a message. Jet Beauty or the cup of essence. When she naked or she bought my necklace. With a mouth full of drugs. She finesse on the plug. Louis V be the book bag. Ferragamo be the do-rag. From a car cause the whiplash. Gucci scarf be a dish rag. Wipe me off when I kick back. Stay away from the red rag. Ratchet hoes wanna red stack. Fuck niggas wanna chit chat. Baby hop in the Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug and she chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs. Baby hop in the Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug and she chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs. Baby girl, you a heaven sent. From your hips and your measurements. Ran off on the plug. Now you talking embezzlement. From a car with the push start. Double parked at the sports bar. Hopped out with the toaster. Mob ties, Costa Nostra. 4-5 in the holster. Walked in with my main bitch. Got a bag like a Saint Nick. Sipping Henny in the banquet. Send a bottle of the same shit. Cinderella living hood rich. Glass slipper was a nice fit. Looking good when you my bitch. Latest fashion be your outfit. Birkin bag on your armpit. Gucci shades with the dark tint. Automated with the ice wrist. Hood chick living hood rich. On my dick like a vice grip. Vacay be a nice wish. Get away from the night shit. Baby hop in the Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug and she chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs. Baby hop in the Dodge with me. Shotgun in the car with me. Pretty thug and she chug with me. Gangsta chick with a smile friendly. Shorty rock her whole mouth with me. Take her oath and his vow with me. Intoxicated on love. Got a mouth full of drugs.
Baby hop in the Dodge with me. Car with me. Chug with me. Smile friendly. Mouth with me. Bow with me. Love. Them drugs.
In a roll, foreign guys on my name and they toes. These studies that knocks me honestly put the seat back in the Odyssey. Prodigy, little mama wanna suck in the swallow me. Wax ties.
Welcome to the Check-in Report. I am your humble yet gracious host, trueandlivin. I'm in the building. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only macaroni. Today's topic: Shannon Sharpe leaves ESPN. We did a whole 2-hour show talking about the allegations, the charges, the all of the things that Shannon Sharpe is dealing with right now. But listen, it's all coming to a head now. Now he has stepped down. We're going to talk a little bit about him stepping down from ESPN. His lawyer has done an interview with Don Lemon. We're going to take a look at that. And something else we have to talk about. They are alleging that Shaq is behind the alleged setup of Shannon Sharpe.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
They are alleging that Shaquille O'Neal, NBA legend, is behind this shakedown of Shannon Sharpe. They're alleging that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But, Shannon Sharpe, listen, oh, man. I mean, like, honestly, like, I mean, where do you begin? I mean, a man that clearly, is learning a very valuable lesson, about the snow. Listen, I don't have a problem with anybody older dating younger women. I don't have an issue with that. And I've heard people bring it up before. You got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Bill Belichick, you got I believe there's an NFL owner. He has a 20 some odd year old girlfriend. Listen, this happens in America all the time. But when you become frivolous, when you start, entertaining every single chicken head, every single scattail woman, every scammer, every lowlife, when you start entertaining these bum thoughts, you're gonna pay the price. And Shannon Sharpe is learning that lesson right now. And make no mistake, Shannon Sharpe is up right now. The man was working on, I believe, a multi-figure deal. I believe it was $100 million deal, where he was working on different things with his podcast, with Nightcap, ESPN. All of that has been halted. And if anybody who's been watching Shannon Sharpe and people on the Shannon Sharpe watch, of course, Shannon Sharpe was at the NFL draft. He's still out there working. And I don't blame him for going out there and continually working. He has to keep up the image. He has to keep up. Let people know that he's still working. He can't just sit home and just act like just be a recluse now. He has to get out there. He has to get out there and show his face, and that's a part of the PR. A part of the PR is going out there, showing your face, letting people know you're out here. You're not scared. You're not running from this. You're not hiding from this. You gotta let people know that, listen, man, I'm going to fight this thing. I'm not running from this woman. I'm not running from these charges. I'm going to face these things head on. So Shannon Sharpe is making an educated, he's making the right choice with that one. But Shannon Sharpe, he released this statement today, in lieu of the reports of him and ESPN being on the not necessarily the best of terms because of this whole case that has come out on him. But he has made he has made this statement in regards to his further tenure with ESPN. This is what he had to say. My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 110% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. So, here he is stepping down, getting away. Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I believe him and the bosses at ESPN, that they had a talk. I believe they had a talk. I believe ESPN, because, Shannon Sharpe, he's a big figure at ESPN. He's a mover and shaker at ESPN. I believe that, ESPN and Shannon Sharpe, they sat down, they had a talk. They told them, listen, we're going to look into this. These are very serious allegations. And Shannon Sharpe, listen, I understand. Let's amicably part ways, for now. And then when things settle down, when this case is figured out, then, we'll reconvene. But, I think that this was the best option for Shannon Sharpe. He had to do this because it was just a bad look. ESPN is owned by Disney. This is a clean-cut company. This is a company this is a corporation. They don't want somebody that represents their corporation with these charges. These are nasty charges. The allegations of you beating on this woman, you choking on this woman. This is nasty charges. So as a corporation, you can't get mad at ESPN for making the choice of stepping away from Shannon. So let's get back into what what was said. It says, "I will be devoting this time to my family in responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason." Now, that's going to be on hold. I'm going to let you know right now. That's going to be on hold. It's really indicative of Shannon Sharpe to just stay away until this thing is completely settled down. I don't know if by the NFL preseason that this thing is going to be wrapped up. I don't know. Shannon Sharpe doesn't know. We have only seen probably a little bit of what has come out yet. You know, there's going to be a deliberation. She's going to have to testify. He's going to have to testify. We're going to get to his lawyer. His lawyer said that we are not settling. That's what the lawyer said today. The lawyer said that we are not settling. We are not settling this case. So they're going to have to both parties are going to have to testify. The jury is going to have to deliberate. This may take some time, and it may go over the NFL preseason. So I don't know if Shannon Sharpe is going to come back to NFL preseason. I'm guessing he believes that this thing will be wrapped up by then, but we don't know. He also says, "I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, friends, fans, and colleagues." Shannon Sharpe. So that's what he had to say in terms of these charges that are against him. That's what he had to say. He did make a statement today. He let it be known that he's stepping down away from ESPN. And I think this is probably the right choice. And I think that this is amicably. I think that the two parties came together. I believe ESPN and the parties came together and they said, "Listen, Shannon, these are nasty charges. We have to step away from you at this point and at this juncture. It's best for business." And I think that they made the right choice. So that's what happened. Now, what else? There's some other things we have to get into. Give me a second, because there's also something else that came out today that we have to discuss. Let me see if I can find that article. Give me 1 second. I think I know I have it. Let me see. No. Where is it? Because there was something that came out. We're gonna get to Shaquille O'Neal, and we're gonna get to that very soon. But there were allegations of. Let me see if I can find it on Axe page. There were allegations that Shannon Sharpe was accused of choking a woman at the Fox Sports FS1. Let me see if we can find that FS1. Let me see. See if we can find this article. Yeah, because Shannon Sharpe, he had been accused of choking a woman at ESPN, not ESPN, at Fox, because he was working at Fox with and we're gonna get to Sky Bree and all that, and him acting like a fool. We're gonna get to all. We got a lot to get to. We really do. We got a lot to get to. Where is this article? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Shannon Sharpe, FS choking. Let me see if we can find this. Where is this article? Okay, yeah, here we go.
Healthy Chris Paul. I'm not so.
Hold on 1 second. So here, this article reads that Shannon Sharpe was accused of choking a female production assistant at FS1 per FOS. Before Shannon time at ESPN, when he was the co-host of FS1 Undisputed, he was accused of choking a female production assistant. Two sources with knowledge of the incident tell Front Office Sports. One source said that Fox settled with the accused. So pretty much they are saying that Shannon Sharpe allegedly choked out a woman at FS1. Allegedly, FS1 settled the claims. Now, this is all a settled case. I'm sure that if there's even a mini of truth to this, that this woman, the woman that settled, she's not going to talk. But we do have a trail of evidence. This is another occasion where a woman is allegedly being choked out. They said that allegedly Fox paid off this woman. They settled with this woman. But we have a trail of evidence that Shannon Sharpe has allegedly choked out women before. So I did see that. Now I don't know. What's going on with Shannon. I don't know if he's been choking out these women. Let me see if I can also find that article. Shannon Sharpe chokes out woman. FS. Oh, Fox. Let's do Fox. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe was accused of choking a woman. A Fox employee, yes. Shannon Sharpe was accused of choking a female Fox employee. Now, listen, this all looks bad in hindsight. I don't know how true this is. I don't know. If he was accused of this, he was accused of this. But everybody's going to be looking at a lot of these things retrospectively. Everybody's going to look back at these things in retrospect and say, well, listen, he has a history. Shannon Sharpe, you have a history of choking women. And best believe Tony Busby is going to jump on this. Tony Busby is going to jump on this. All of whoever is trying to bring home the narrative on Shannon Sharpe, they're all going to bring home the narrative. So we do have a trail of evidence of Shannon Sharpe allegedly putting hands on women. So we have that. We do have that. Let me see what else we had to get to. Because this is nasty. I'm not gonna lie, this is nasty. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is another clip that's going viral. With Shannon Sharpe acting like a damn fool, talking about an OnlyFans model. He looks too old to be foaming at the mouth over an OnlyFans model. Have y'all seen this video?
He look.
Hey, Scott.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Take a look at this, y'all.
Real Ocho?
Sky Bree? Who that is?
Hold on.
You know who Sky Bree is, Ocho?
Sky Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah. How I do it.
At a certain point, you gotta act your age. Shannon Sharpe, act your damn age. You sound like a pervy old man. How I do it. How I do it. You look old and corny, Unc. You see what all that simping and all that chasing thought. You see where it got you. How I do it. How I do it. How you doing now? How you doing now? I mean, you're not doing too hot now. You're not doing too well now. Salute to FBA. I see FBA's in the building. Salute to FBA in the building. What's up, FBA? Salute. Who else is in the building? Okay, I see. Okay, BX man. Salute. Yeah, man. But yeah, he was looking like a damn fool, foaming at the mouth over this OnlyFans model. Let's play that again.
You know who Sky Bree is, Ocho?
Sky Bree? Who that is, Coach?
Yeah. How I do it. How I do
Hey, Scott.
So old and corny. Shannon Sharpe, act your age. It's okay to be 56. It's okay to be an old nigga. It's okay to date women that are your age. It's okay to date that women that are age appropriate, like 30, 40 years old, Shannon. Look where chasing young women got you. You're on the outs with ESPN. Sponsors are divesting from your platform, or because you were a pervy horny old man. How I do it. Old and corny. What's wrong with this nigga? What is wrong with this nigga? And I know Shannon has kids. I know Shannon has been a professional athlete his whole life. I'm sure he's had cat thrown at him. But why is he acting like why is he acting like a horny virgin? I pray to God when I get to that age that I'm not that old and corny. He's old and corny. Shannon Sharpe, why you can't date a woman your age? Why you can't date even a 30-year-old woman, even a woman in her late 20s? Why are you chasing these young girls? Scammed you, took advantage of you. They turned you out. And here you are acting like a fool.
Who that is, coach?
How I do it. How I do
Hey, Scott.
it.
I mean, who is that? Who is that? Help me out.
You know what I'm saying? She little something. You know, she might be famous for vertical activity that she's good at.
Oh, she a hooper?
Oh yeah.
Who she?
Salute the chance. Salute the chance. Hold on. Chance says, "Sup? I saw you on the academics this evening. Checking report. You sent in that super chat. I peeped it. Salute. Thank you, Chance. Yeah, I was in there. Act stream. Salute to Chance.
You don't find that suspicious?
But back to Shannon Sharpe. He's a horny old man, bro. He's a horny old man, and he's learning a valuable lesson. Clearly, he's addicted to Onlyfans. Clearly, he's addicted to IG models. Clearly, he's addicted. Instead of settling down with a woman his age, a 30, 40-year-old woman, an age-appropriate woman, this is what it's costing. He's been tricked out of his position. And like I said, I hope when I get to that age that I'm not old and corny like that. When I hit 56, I want to be married with children, with kids, and I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be sack chasing and all of these different women. And like I said, I don't have a problem with older men dating younger women. I have a problem with old men chasing older women. Let me take that back. Older men chasing younger women. You're not supposed to be chasing younger women. When you're an old man, the women are supposed to gravitate towards you. The young women are supposed to gravitate towards you. He's chasing these young women. He's chasing these young women. These women are not gravitating towards him. So yeah, he's looking like a damn fool right now. He's looking like a damn fool. I want to get to that. There was like a let me see if I can find that shit. Where's that shit at? There's like a artificial AI of Shannon Sharpe. That shit is type funny. I want to play AI. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. It was going viral. Where's it at? There you go.
The other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Well, what, Gabby?
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Have y'all seen this?
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
look that you did what they think you did to me.
Hold on. They got the apology too. I didn't see this.
Friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men.
Yeah, so that's been going live. Yeah, like listen, Shannon Sharpe, he was just an old pervy old man chasing these young women, and he's paying the price now. He's paying the price for it. Now, I want to get to the theory of Shaq setting up. I want to get to that a little bit later. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. You know what? Let's get to Don Lemon. He had a talk with Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. And there was some interesting things. I think we should talk about this. I want to break this thing down with the Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. This is crazy because back in the day, when someone was getting sued and so civilly and all these different things, they would not allow their client to speak, and even the lawyer would say, we're going to wait to speak to the media. But the lawyer has spoken to the media. Shannon Sharpe has released his statements. So Don Lemon, he sat down with Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, and salute to Don Lemon. He did a very good job, at least on asking the right questions in terms. So I want to talk about Don Lemon and speaking to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. So this is Don Lemon speaking to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer.
What do you know? And so we're going to introduce his attorney, and we're going to find out in just moments. Okay, so good evening. Welcome to the program. Appreciate you joining us. Do we have a show for you today? In case you missed our hot topics this morning, I want to quickly catch you up on the Shannon Sharpe. It's the Super Bowl champion and host of Club Shay Shay. He's been accused of sexual assault in a Nevada lawsuit, okay? That suit was brought by a woman who alleges that Sharpe used his fame to, quote, manipulate, control, these are her words, and subjugate and violate women. The accuser was 19 years old at the time when she met Sharpe. That was back in 2023, says in a legal filing that the pair had violated her. He is a target. The famed Lanny Davis, who's represented just a number of high-profile people, and I've worked with Lanny.
So this is Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. He's speaking directly. So everything. So pretty much, this is a mouthpiece for Shannon Sharpe. So everything. This is his representation. Remember, this is Shannon Sharpe's representation. This is his lawyer. Let's get into it.
For years, at least, interviewing him for clients that and the stories that he's been involved in. Lanny, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Don.
So, Lanny, what is going on here? Because we have, you know what has happened. She's accused him. I read that. You have this salacious text messages. You've got the phone calls, and we'll play some of that in a minute. But where are we? And then we have the breaking news that he is stepping aside from ESPN. So where are we? What is going on here?
Make sure you hit that like button. I need you to hit that like. We got 8 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
What a thrill.
Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. Let's get back into it.
Well, let me at least add to the words stepping aside and start with that, and then I'll answer your question, if you don't mind, Don. He's stepping aside. He's elected to step aside to take care of his family and to deal with this blackmail filled with lies by this individual who uses OnlyFans to make money and to act out in role playing.
So that's the defense. That's going to be the defense. The defense is going to be, this is just some scat-tailed bitch. She's a whore that makes money on OnlyFans. Yeah, it's a little whore, and she done jacked off Jimmy Jack Corn. She's on Instagram selling pictures of her asshole. This ain't no believable bitch. This is not an honorable bitch. Bitches is on Instagram selling pictures of her asshole. This ain't no credible bitch right here. That's going to be the defense, that she's just some woman, some whore selling her body. and that she's not a credible woman, she's not a righteous woman. I think that's going to be the angle here. That she's just pleasing men and just fulfilling sexual fantasies. That she's not no credible woman. That's believable. I think that's going to be the defense Shannon Sharpe leans on in his defense.
The reason that's relevant is that we are going to counterclaim and file suit against her. She will be under oath, and we will show that what I'm saying is true. She's her own text messages is that consensual sex. The reason sex, there was never anything but consensual sex. The reason we sent out her own words, her own text messages, is that she often asked for rough sex. She in a text message that we just recently put online, she said, "I want to be in a dog collar. Daddy, I want your black babies." She has been.
Woo!
Darkness and silence through the night.
What a thrill! What a thrill!
What a thrill.
She wanted to have the black baby.
Searching and I'll melt into you.
Shannon Sharpe was on top of that 19-year-old poo-tang. Bare back in that thing. You gonna have my black baby. My big black baby.
What a thrill.
Can you blame him? Let's get back into
to be in a dog collar. Daddy, I want your black babies. She has been role-playing on Onlyfans. She was role-playing and asked for this with Mr. Shannon Sharpe. So we are going to prove this in court when we sue her in a counterclaim. But I'm saying on the record, she's lying. We have evidence of her lies from her own words and what she was asking for in the text messages. But we will prove affirmatively what Shannon Sharpe said on his Instagram account. He's innocent. There was never a moment of other than consensual sex. And this is about blackmail and a shakedown scheme.
Okay, so people are dialing in at every second, as you know, and streaming. That's what Shannon does. I'm sure you're very aware of it. So we have more people joining us. So I just want to say that we are joined by famed attorney Lanny Davis, who is attorney for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe's attorney. You guys misspelled attorney. Shannon Sharpe's attorney, so you can take it down and put it up, speaks. Okay, so Lanny, the fact that she works for OnlyFans, is that somehow undermine her credibility? I mean, because folks would say they would call that, shaming of some sort. If you know,
no, I absolutely am not.
In the realm of her skirt was too short.
How she decides to earn a living, I'm not making any comment about her decision to use OnlyFans. That's her decision. I'm not criticizing that decision or judging her for that decision. The relevance is fantasy role playing is what, among other things, she does on this particular site, OnlyFans. The fantasy role playing was the explicit sex messages or text messages that we posted that she asked for over and over again, including wearing a dog collar and engaging in non-traditional forms of sex. So it's consistent with my statement, which we will prove that she's a liar, that she
my fault. I was on mute. My fault.
Engaged as the news of his success and future contract came to her attention. She took advantage to leverage the possibility of her getting paid, and she blackmailed him. And we are suing her, and we will prove that this was a scheme to blackmail.
So they're hitting her with the countersuit. Okay. So they're going the Tony Busby route. They're going to not the Tony Busby, right, but the Jay-Z route, where they're countersuing and they're trying to bring charges on this woman and the lawyer. Okay, so I think that's a smart move. Yeah, you have to go after your accuser. If they're accusing you of something that she didn't do, you need to go after the accuser.
Involving secret taping and we will prove that Mr. Sharpe is telling the truth, that he was never, ever involved in anything other than consensual sexual activity privately between two adults.
Okay, so let's some of these things that we have. I want to play this recorded phone call because this is the first thing that came out after she
Let's
filed
get to it. Let's get
the
to
suit. And then you and I will talk about it. This is a call between.
Remember, this is Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. So let's see what the lawyer has to say about these clips. Let's see what this is Shannon Sharpe's representation. This is his lawyer.
Gabby, right? She was Jane Doe. Now she has been identified as Gabby, but she has a different name on OnlyFans, correct?
Yes, Carly, I believe, but she has several aliases. One of them is Carly.
Yeah, and Shannon Sharpe references that. And
you can't trust a girl with all these different nicknames. When a girl has all these different nicknames, that means she has a double life. Like if a girl's name is Brittany, and then some other people know her as, I don't know, Simone, and some other people on this side of the other tracks, they know her as I don't know, Sherry. That's a problem. That means that girl is living a double life. One nickname, okay, that's cool. One little nickname, maybe if a girl's name if a girl name is Brittany and they call her B, then that's different. But if a girl got all these different nicknames, some people over here know her Sugar Tits. People over here, they know her as KK. People over here, they know her as Sweet Pea. People over here, they know her as S Titty Bang Bang. That means that girl is living a double life. This girl is possibly living a double life. And scam Shannon Sharpe. That's a fact. Let's get back into it, though.
His response that she's Carly on OnlyFans. Okay, so this is the first thing that came out. This is a recorded phone call. Take a listen, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to spend the rest of
we got the we ain't paying for no premiums over here. You know how we get down.
your life watching ads? Guys,
Give me a
just
second,
download
Shaw.
Pi. It's a free Google Chrome extension and it basically blocks ads for you.
Give me a second, man. They're going YouTube brazy right now. They're going crazy with the ads. Hold on.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Don't worry about it.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public.
Let's see what the lawyer has to say about this.
Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
Okay, so put this into context for me, Lanny.
Let's see what the lawyer says about this.
Precipitated this, and what's the context of this particular phone call?
Thank you. The lawyer who represents this Ms. Zuniga is well known for putting things out of context and posting a secretly taped telephone call without posting a text message where she has a collar around her neck and she says, "Choke me," and without posting all the other examples of fantasy role playing that she asked for involving choking and other forms of non-traditional sex, is a deliberate part of the scheme to blackmail. She didn't tell Mr. Sharpe that she was taping. She does secret taping. We have certain evidence that a tape that she's going to use as part of her blackmail attempt was heavily edited And when we asked to see a copy of it to determine whether it was edited, she and her lawyer said no. Now, this out of context telephone call, you can hear her voice. Her voice is not somebody who is afraid of being choked. In fact, Mr. Shannon Sharpe never, ever choked her. After this telephone conversation, they had many times of consensual sex. The apartment in Las Vegas, she followed.
Now, I'm gonna say I don't think that's going to work. I understand what his lawyer's saying, that it's out of context, and she requested to be choked on many times. This is how they play, this is how they have relations, this is how they have sex. I get all that. I get what the lawyer's trying to say, but you have to remember this is a phone call conversation. So it's not like these two are not in the bedroom together. They're not in the bedroom together. They're not having sex together. This is not a role play situation. This is a phone call conversation. This is an intimate conversation. Does the girl like to be choked? Yes. Does the girl like to have rough sex? Yes. But to a jury, because we know on the outside that this is a shakedown, but to a jury, are they going to unequivocally say that this girl what was into S&M, or are they going to say that this girl was possibly being beaten? And Shannon Sharpe didn't know when to stop. Shannon Sharpe didn't know, he allowed that this behavior to go outside of the bedroom. Because you can say, yeah, this was, her having some rough sex, and this is what she likes to get into. But they're not in the bedroom together. This is not audio of them in the bedroom. This is a personal conversation. This is a one-on-one conversation where he's talking about choking her. He's not talking about choking her in the bedroom. He's not saying, "Hey, when I see you, and we get in bed, girl, and we have sex, I'm gonna choke you." That's not the context of the conversation, or at least that's not what we're privy to. To a jury, it could be looked at as a way of almost you choking her and you beating on her and you allowing that behavior to go outside the bedroom. So, I don't know if that's going to fly to a jury. I don't know if that, and I understand the angle, but I don't know if that's going to fly, because some people may say that or take that clip and they may say, well, what is going on? You guys are not in the bedroom together. You guys are on a phone call. Yeah, she likes to have rough sex, but you guys are not in the bedroom. So I don't know if that's going to work, but let's continue.
Him to Las Vegas when he moved there. The apartment had 3 or 4 different secure access points. She had to come down with her telephone to open the gates. She welcomed him into her apartment with all that security. And this whole telephone conversation is consistent with what we put online, which is the desire for fantasy role playing, similar to what she does on OnlyFans.
Okay, so I'm going in order of as things happen. So that phone call came out, the lawsuit was filed, that phone call came out, and then you guys responded with releasing the text messages. Am I correct?
Am I lagging? Am I on, or am I lagging, y'all? Okay, I'm back. Okay, yeah. For some reason, it looked like I was lagging on my thing. I'm back.
With that,
to provide context to this distorted drip by drip release of her secretly recorded telephone calls to try to suggest that Shannon Sharpe ever did anything but consensual sex. All the text messages, all her activity after this alleged event that she's referring to were all consensual, and we will prove that.
Okay, so then, but his response came after you put out the text messages, right? His on-camera response. That was later, or which one came first?
No, well, he immediately, I think you're referring to his Instagram comment. Yeah. I think that was a few days before we finally collected the text messages and posted them online.
All right, Lanny, let's listen to some of what he said. This is Shannon Sharpe's response.
Thank you.
My family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying. And now that appears information, family.
It is unusual. I mean, this is a different day and age, Lanny. I mean, you and I are old enough to remember where you didn't, the lawyer either responded or it was no comment, but we're in a different age now. Why do you feel it was necessary? Why did Shannon feel it was necessary? And I'm sure he ran this by his representatives to get in front of this and get it on camera.
Well, I'm his lawyer, and he's been sued with vicious lies that are contained in the lawsuit filed by this Mr. Busby. And we're going to be suing her as a counterclaim. And
so I guess they're not going to sue or go after Tony Busby, because I thought they were going to go the Jay-Z route, where they not only sue the accuser, but go after the law firm with these frivolous claims. I thought they were going to go after the law firm, but I guess not.
We will prove she's lying. But then I said myself to Shannon Sharpe, you need to talk to your family, your friends, your fans, everybody who watches ESPN, because you are telling the truth. The truth is on your side. And when you say it yourself, rather than me or somebody else saying it, you will be believed. And I ask everybody to find that. It's on formerly known as Twitter, X, and you can watch him. And I said to him, Shannon, the television camera quickly detects somebody who's not authentic and doesn't lie. I'm kind of an expert in that subject. You will come across as telling the truth because you are telling the truth. So I hope everybody watches that tape. The jury will be seeing Shannon testify. And then when she's on the witness stand, which she must be.
So she's going to take the stand. He's going to have to take the stand, and she's going to have to take the stand. So this is going to get dragged out. See, the thing about this case, and this is why I thought that Shannon Sharpe should have possibly settled this thing with this woman. I think he should have settled this out when he had the chance to, because now a lot of things are going to come out. I don't know what else this woman has. Allegedly, that she has a sex tape, and there's possibly other elements of this relationship that's going to be exposed, and other things that I know Shannon Sharpe doesn't want to come out. Nobody wants their private life and their sex life to come out like this. So, this is just a bad look. And of course, you can't do business with ESPN while you're doing this. So, I think he should have possibly settled this thing when he had the chance to, because, he could have just kind of nipped this thing in the butt. Do I think you should have gave her $10 million? No. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you should have gave her, but I mean, I don't know.
Because she filed the lawsuit. She will be asked to explain the text messages asking for fantasy role playing, asking to be choked, asking for a dog collar, asking for his, quote, black babies. This was all a plan.
She said that she wanted that baby gravy. She wanted to have his big baby, big black baby. She said, give me the black baby gravy. That's what she was saying.
Taped, manipulated, extortion, blackmail scheme, and we will prove that in court when we sue her in a counterclaim and she's under oath.
Do y'all like white chicks? Do anybody in here, do y'all like white chicks? I've never really been into white chicks. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful white women out there, but I've never really been into them like that. Are y'all really into white chicks? Let me ask the poll in here. Let me start a new poll. Hold on. Let me ask y'all. Are y'all into white chicks? Y'all into white chicks? I've never really been into white chicks like that. Let me ask y'all. Whoever comes in here, let me know. Are y'all into white chicks? Me personally, I've never really been into them like that. I've always been into black women and Latinas. I've always been since I was a young man. I've always been into black women and Latinas. I've always been to. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some cute white girls before. I've seen some cute white girls. I've seen that before. I've seen some cute white girls around the way I went to school with, stuff like that. But I gotta be honest, it's always been black women and Latinas. I just want to ask y'all that because Shannon Sharpe, clearly he has the fever. And like I said, there's a lot of beautiful white women, but I just want to get a poll in here to see, how y'all feeling about the white chicks? Are y'all into white women? Or does this whole story make you a little bit, antsy about dating white women, or maybe not so much. Maybe will this story stray you away from white women? I just want to know.
Okay, so a couple of things. You said that you know that from experience. You want to explain to the audience why you know that? Because you've had some high-profile cases.
Let me get rid of this. Hold on. We don't pay for no premiums around here. We don't pay for no premiums. Hold on. All right, let's get back to it.
I've been a lawyer all my life as a litigator and in courtrooms. But then I began to realize in the age of social media and in politics that it was very important that if somebody is falsely accused, that the accused directly looks everybody in the eye and tells the truth and let the viewer decide. That's why I advised Shannon to go on camera, on Instagram, and tell the truth. People will know if you're lying, Shannon. Tell it exactly the way you feel it. That's my advice to people in this situation.
I got to be honest. He was reading off of a teleprompter. So I couldn't really tell if he was if he was telling the truth or not. I think that's a bad way to tell. If you're reading off of a teleprompter, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. If you're reading off of a teleprompter, then you're just reading off of a teleprompter. Nobody can tell if you're telling the truth. You're just reading a script. So, I don't know. I don't know what to believe in terms of Shannon Sharpe. I don't know what to believe.
But you were involved in some very high profile political folks too, as well. So
yes, I have people in politics who are falsely accused, people in politics who do something wrong. My advice always is tell all your truth, tell it early, and tell it yourself. And that's the advice I've given politicians. That's the advice I gave to Shannon.
Okay, so let's go through some of these because you mentioned some of the text messages. Okay, so
let's go through some of these salacious text messages. Is Shannon Sharpe's lawyer gonna address Shannon Sharpe getting his ass ate? Shannon Sharpe got his ass ate. He had both legs in the air like he just scored a touchdown. Both legs in the air like he scored a touchdown, getting his ass ate by this white woman. Let's continue though.
This is a screen. Let's put up the full one of some of the text messages here, and so there are a number of them. But I want to go through some of them. If you can just run through them, Andy. Yes. And so we have a couple of pages of them, and I have to warn you, they're salacious.
Very salacious.
It says, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put on a condom and not put it in my, what, backside.
He had one in the pink and one in the stink. Shannon Sharpe likes to get his booty ate. He likes to get his groceries ate, and he likes to put one in the pink, one in the stink.
And you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon.
There you go. That looks crazy. If a woman tells you no, it does mean no. There's no bargaining, because when the police get called, when a lawsuit gets brought up, it's going to look bad. If she got you on the text messages, if she got you in a video or audio, and she's telling you no, and you insist on doing it, it's going to look like you manipulated her. It's going to look like you took her against her will. These things are going to play into the consciousness of the jury that looks at this case. And this is what Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer, they're not really noticing this. Especially if they get a female jury. If it's a female jury, most of the women are going to side with the women, because they're going to say, yeah, I've been manipulated by men. I remember when I was a young 19-year-old girl and 30-year-old men were trying to take advantage of me. They were pulling up at the high school. A lot of women sympathize with that, and they could understand, a young girl being manipulated by an older man. So I don't think that, the lawyer is doing a good job at anticipating that.
Folks are saying that one is really damning. You want to talk to me about that one?
Yes, this is all her scheme and her plan. If she's not scheming and planning, why does she refuse to turn over the edited tape that will prove that she's schemed ahead of time, planned this, and then edited a tape to make it seem as if no.
So the lawyer's defense is just saying that, yo, this is just a whore. This is a scatal bitch and a whore. Shannon Sharpe met this girl on a corner. She was giving handy J's and selling pictures of her asshole for $10 a pop. If that's the angle that you guys are coming from, I mean, I don't know if that's going to work. I understand that she likes to have rough sex. I understand she likes to get choked out, and we understand that, Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. But you guys are going to have to unequivocally prove that he has not abused this woman outside of the bedroom. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see unequivocal proof that he did not abuse this woman outside of the bedroom. Because I'm thinking like a jury. I'm thinking like a jury person who's on the jury, who has no knowledge of this case, who's in the jury, looking at this evidence, looking at this proof. That's how I'm looking at this. And I'm not seeing unequivocal proof that he did not abuse this woman outside of the bedroom. Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Means she is being taken against her will. The facts will come out when we see this tape, and he has said in the statement, this tape was edited. This whole conversation was fake. This was a blackmail scheme, a plan to squeeze money out of a man that she knew had been successful. And just at the moment of his success, she needs blackmail money. And that's what this was about. And we'll prove that in court.
Okay, so I mean, folks are saying it's that one is very damning. I don't know how to process this. Keep going. Let's go through some of these, Andy. Can I call you later? So I'm just showing some of the evidence, and this is 1/2/25. I want to be abused, Daddy, from her saying, and this sort of goes into what you were saying. I want like some hardcore BDSM action, though. Okay,
BDS is sadomasochism. She sent photographs that we could have put up and more than we did that are from her bondage.
We understand that, Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. We understand. She likes to have rough sex. She likes to get choked. She likes to wear dog collars. She likes to be, shriveled up like a pretzel and get pounded out. We understand that. But where's the proof that he did not abuse this woman outside of the bedroom? That's what we want to see. That's what I want to know. Because if he's on a phone call talking about choking her in public, talking about, a big black man chokes out a white woman, and the allegations is he violated me, he choked me, he assaulted me outside of the bedroom as well as inside of the bedroom, then we need to see a little bit of proof that he wasn't beating on her. I need to see proof of that. Does Shannon Sharpe have any proof of him, treating this woman like a nice young lady, or, I don't know, maybe taking her out to a picnic? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to prove it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I mean, that's what we're going to have to see, because the allegations here is that he was abusing her outside of the bedroom as well as inside of the bedroom. And then the clip, the audio clip, kind of substantiates that, because he's making fun of choking her out. So that's what I'm going to have to see.
What she prefers. So the notion that she's now suddenly claiming, after editing a tape and faking everything and saying no while she's asking for this, as you've just seen, are our evidence of lies and the scheme of a blackmail. And it doesn't make any sense that she came back and voluntarily wanted to see him more and had consensual sex even after.
Now, I agree with that. The fact that she moved to where Shannon Sharpe is, I believe she lived in she lived in Las Vegas. She moved to LA. The fact that she did that doesn't make sense, because if you're getting abused, why are you moving to the place your abuser is abusing you? There's a lot of things that don't make sense in terms of her story, but these are things that they're going to have to make this make sense.
After her claim.
And you're going to have to factor in that this is a young girl. When you were young, you made mistakes, you made bad choices. If their whole claim to fame is This is just a terrible woman, and this is a woman who's trying to blackmail him. That all may be true. But the jury is also going to look at this woman's age. They're going to look at this woman's age and say, maybe she's not a manipulative young girl. Maybe she's just a young girl that didn't know right from wrong. That maybe she possibly was making the wrong choices in life, and this older man took advantage of her. That may be what the jury see, and they may make a judgment and say, well, we're going to give this young lady a $50 million judgment. So, Shannon Sharpe has to play his cards right with this.
That she was coerced.
Okay. Yeah, because this one was later. That one was 1:30. Okay, and then I guess that's a picture of her. I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy. Okay, let's keep going through. And then I guess this one would be from Shannon agreeing when I'd be killing that young, kitty cat or whatever. And then I guess she was upset because of what happened with, I think, on Instagram when Shannon had the unfortunate situation of going live during a personal act. Absolutely not. When you give me a formal apology for cheating on me on Instagram, I live and multiple other times, then we can talk about it. What's this one about?
So this is when we're in court. We'll be looking at a jury using its common sense, whether this individual can be believed at all. This is a woman who has planned and schemed to set up Shannon Sharpe. Her telephone call or setup. She didn't tell him she was taping him. This shows that her plan was executed just at the moment that he appeared to be most successful with his podcast. That's called blackmail. We are also showing that her text messages were asking for the very behavior that she then falsely and willfully falsely called lying said was not consensual. That's why these text messages are so important.
Let's go through a couple more here, and I won't burden you with all of them. Absolutely not. When you give me, okay, that one's the same one. A formal apology. That's the same one, Andy. Let's go to the formal apology. He says, she says formal apology, and then keep going. I've said sorry, Gabby, and I think the next one she says, but you haven't said I'm sorry for what, and you say I'm sorry, and you never say what you're sorry for, and you're going to make it right. Okay, wow, keep going. What's taking so long? Either you don't have the cash to show me right now, or you're with Michelle. Which one is it, Shannon? Now, what is that about?
Yes, I was about to say, may I interrupt, but you gave me the chance to comment. First of all, money. When she became transactional with Mr. Sharpe, with Shannon, where she demanded money from him for sexual acts, no different than what she does on OnlyFans. I'm not judging that. That's what she does. She asks for money for these role-playing fantasies.
Yeah, she was asking for $25K each cheek. Each ass cheek, she said, was worth $25K to Shannon. He said she wanted $50K from him. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Number two, what is she angry about? She's not angry about forced sex or the R word. I hate to use it. I won't repeat it. Is what she's accusing him, lying that the R word applied to consensual sex. She's jealous because he was with another woman and it was live streamed. He did that, and that's up to him to explain. But what the result was, she was angry, not at non-consensual sex. She was angry because she was a woman who was jealous, and lots of us have jealous feelings sometimes, and there's nothing unusual about that. But the motivation here is money, always money. He was paying her money for sex.
Yeah, she seems very transactional, and I don't know what it is with I don't get that. Like if you're around a girl, right? Just hypothetically, if you're around a joint, and every element of you being around her is transactional, I mean, do you still want to be around the girl? Like, I understand I'm rich. I understand I got it. But if every 5 minutes you're requesting me to take you shopping, if you won't accept an apology unless I give you $50K, I mean, is that really a girl you want to be around? Like, me personally, I don't want to be around a girl. I don't care if I'm rich or not. I don't want to be around a girl that won't accept my apology unless I give her 50K. That's clearly not a good person. That's clearly not a person you should be around. That's clearly not a person that you should even like be entertaining. A girl that won't accept your apology unless you give her 50K. That's crazy. But Shannon Sharpe allowed that. He allowed this woman to say to feel comfortable in doing that. Most men would say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 yo, get out my crib, bro." Like you really got the audacity to ask me for 50K. You're not gonna accept my formal apology as a mature woman and just accept the apology. You're not gonna accept my apology unless I give you 50K. Get out. This sounds like a terrible a woman, but you continue to entertain her. You continue to see, that's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of you young men. You have to we're talking about an old nigga here, but you don't reward negative behavior. You don't reward that. When a woman acts negatively, if a woman acts out of character, you don't reward it. You nip it in the butt. As soon as she act out of character, as soon as she's problematic, you don't reward that. You know, like you don't date a young girl and she throws a tantrum in the car, right? Let's say you're with a young girl and she throws a tantrum in the car. You don't reward that behavior. You don't reward her throwing a tantrum in the car. You don't, just calm down. We're gonna go to dinner. Oh, just calm down. I'm gonna take you shopping. Oh, just calm down. I'm gonna take you to your favorite restaurant. Just calm down. No, you don't reward bad behavior. You pull that car over and you tell her to get out. Get out the car. You want to act like a monkey? Well, be a monkey by yourself. I'm gonna drop you off right here. I'm gonna drop you off at the zoo. You don't reward bad behavior with women. When they act out of character, you nip it in the butt. You nip it right in the butt. Shannon Sharpe, I don't know how you don't know this. You're an older man. Why was you rewarding the bad behavior? And I seen this girl. Does she look good? Okay, she's okay looking. She has a nice body. But this is not your wife. Not your girlfriend. This is some little Onlyfans joint you sticking your genitalia in. Why was you rewarding the bad behavior? Let's continue.
She gets now the flavor that she can get a lot of money, and that's what blackmail is about. Paying that blackmail money isn't about admitting wrongdoing, by the way. It's what blackmailers do in order to avoid embarrassment to your family and danger to your future. People pay blackmail money not because they did anything wrong. I've seen some reporting on that.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Let me ask you about that. Hold on, stand by. Let me just go through some of these, and I'm going to ask you about that. Okay. I know you miss this big juicy. This is her ass. She says 25K per each cheek. Okay, money again, as you say. And then he says 10K cash. I guess it was sort of joking around there. I don't know. Maybe it's real. And send a pic or I don't know, what does that say? FT me with it? Maybe it's FaceTime. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Yes. Send a pic, or maybe that's FaceTime me with it. So maybe she was asking for personal pictures of him, maybe his private parts. I have no idea. Okay. What the next one is, if you want to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. Okay.
This is excuse me for interrupting you. This is Exhibit A, that she's a liar. She's a blackmailer. She set him up. It's a shakedown. This is Exhibit A. She wants a collar.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Lanny. Okay, keep going. The next one. Loved. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck, and so he loved it. And then keep going. And then I'm going to just read these for a little bit. But there are other ones that saying, I want you to put your if you scroll through them, Andy, or put the big one up. I want you to put, I think she said, your black baby soup or something inside of me, and I want to have your
baby gravy. That was actually the word she used.
Big black baby and all of those kinds of things that people are like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going? I want you to put your tongue in my you know what and then marry you. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's pretty salacious. Now,
That's me driving through the country.
Give me 1 second, y'all.
New vacation home.
YouTube going crazy, going brazy with the ads tonight. They're going crazy with the ads. You know, hold on. You know, we don't pay for no premiums over here. We don't do no premiums over here. They're gonna hit me with a 2-pack of commercials. Really?
Can I just jump in as a lawyer?
Yeah.
It is salacious
Yeah.
and it is not exactly easy to read, but it's about lying. She's accused him of the R word, non-consensual forced sex, and yet her text messages convey exactly the opposite. She wants to be dominated. She uses sadomasochism expressions. She sends photographs that we have of bondage. Do you think a jury is going to believe this liar who wants money, demands money, and then...
Possibly. It depends on the jury. It depends on the people you get. You know, if you get some women in there that have dealt with abuse, if you get some women in there that are they've dealt with older men when they were younger, yes, I could see them seeing it her way. I could see it.
In order to stay silent in the future, engages in blackmail and asks for money. I don't think the trial is going to go very well for her. And I think her lawyer, who's known for other practices, as Mr. Shannon pointed out, of suing black men, I don't think her lawyer is fully prepared for what's going to happen to her when she must take the witness stand because she filed the lawsuit. She can't decline to take the witness stand. She will be subpoenaed by us. If she declines, in my opinion, the lawsuit will be dismissed.
You're going to court. Is there a settlement here? Because every legal person I've seen online or in a story is like, this will settle. This will
not settle. We are going to sue her for defamation and many other causes of action that
So they're going full steam ahead. There's no settling this case. They're going full steam ahead.
Involved and potentially a criminal act is blackmail. And that is what happened here. And we have the evidence of blackmail, and we will prove it in court. This will not settle. She is going to be proven to be a liar. My client's reputation, his family, he's been embarrassed, and he is going to be vindicated by a jury that will find her guilty of lying, and she will have to pay heavily for these false attacks on my client.
Let me ask you, I told you to hold that thought. I forget what it was about. Because you were speaking. Do you remember what it was? Is it producers? Do you remember? Because I wanted to talk to you about it. There's so many things here.
Sorry.
You guys remember, Nikki? Anybody? So you're not going to settle. Let's talk about ESPN.
Yes, please.
That's owned by the mouse. You know, clean cut, whatever. You know, it's Mickey Mouse Kids. It's owned by Disney. Shannon Sharpe to be benched by ESPN's first. Disney, ABC, whatever. Disney owns ABC and ESPN. So Shannon Sharpe to be benched by ESPN's First Take amid, R-word lawsuit, $10 million settlement offer. That's what I'm going to talk to you about. So first, you're concerned about ESPN. Does this mean permanently? Does this mean that they're backing away from him? Because they say pending a further investigation.
Well, first of all, the word benched is inaccurate. This is his choice. He elected to step aside.
I disagree. I think amicably they came together and made the choice for him to take a brief suspension. You know, that's what I think. You know, I don't think he quit. I don't think they benched him. I think that they amicably said that it's best for business for you to go right now because this case looks nasty, and we don't want to be tied to this in any way.
For now, to take care of his family and to deal with this terrible nightmare of a woman engaging in blackmail.
Snow bunny nightmare.
And he wants to be vindicated. So he offered and elected to step aside at least up to the early pregame season for the NFL, and then he will return. So that was his choice, and ESPN respected that decision.
Okay, now this is a $10 million settlement offer. Wasn't it, in fact, is that correct, or was it a $20 million settlement offer?
Well, all I've been able to do as a lawyer is to confirm that in a conference that was supposed to be kept confidential because a professional mediator who's a retired judge engaged in the mediation, that those numbers were exchanged. And all I can say under the rules is that it was at least that number.
So Shannon Sharpe did offer this woman, let's just say hypothetically, he offered her from $5 to $10 million. So he did. So Shannon Sharpe, I got to be honest with you. If you were at least willing to offer her 5 to 10 million, that means that at least some of this is true. Maybe, listen, maybe she's trying to shake you down. I agree that she is. Maybe, she made this story salacious. But if you was willing to give this woman 10 M's, the majority of this stuff is true, man. She got you by the balls. It's because you was willing to give her 10 million. That's going to come up in court, Shannon. Shannon Sharpe, he got caught. He got caught. She caught him. Because all of this is going to get brought up, because what his lawyers are going to try to do, they're going to try to make this woman like she's the most sexually deviant woman on the planet. They're going to make her look like, she knew full and well what was going on and she was a willing participant. But when the defense comes back, and they're going to come back and they are going to put Shannon Sharpe on that stand. And then they ask him, is it true that you offered my client $10 million to settle this lawsuit? Is that true, Shannon? Under oath, he is going to have to say, yes, I did offer her $10 million or $5, whatever it was. I was willing to offer her this amount of money to let this thing go. Now, you don't think that's going to play in the minds and the consciousness of the juries? You don't think that's going to play into their minds? Because a jury is going to say, well, listen, did she try to blackmail him? Possibly. Did she try to make it look away? Possibly. But at least some of this is true, where you felt that you had to settle this thing out. That's going to play in the minds and the consciousness of the jury.
That he considered and might have paid in order to protect his privacy, his family, and his economic interests going forward. So I think that's one of the things that you said you wanted to come back to.
Yeah, that's what it was. But
outrageous.
So why he's not guilty?
That he did this because he did something wrong. Literally, a reporter wrote that, well, he must have done something wrong if he was willing to pay that amount of money.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Explain this. Why, if he is indeed not guilty, why this? And I tried to explain this morning on TMZ is that either some folks call it a nuisance lawsuit or they want to protect their image or their job or their reputation or whatever. So, but I think people deserve to know why offer that if he is not guilty of these things.
It's a good question.
It's a very valid question, but it's the conclusions that people are speculating about that I take strong exception to. If you go to anyone who's been blackmailed, blackmail is about taking advantage and leveraging embarrassment or something that is a private act that somebody doesn't want to be splashed all over the media. Sometimes the option, which is a painful option, when you're a subject of blackmail, that's no fun, is to pay and pray. That's what happened.
That's not going to fly to a jury. I'm sorry. If that's the defense, if the defense is, sometimes it's in your best interest to just plea out and just say, hey, I'm going to give you this money just to quiet you. You don't think that's going to play into the minds of the juries? Shannon Sharpe, you messed up. You messed up. You messed up. You messed up. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to be honest, Shannon Sharpe, you should settle this. You should settle this because it could be a big difference between you paying $50 million and paying $20 million. Maybe she'll settle for 20. Maybe she'll settle for 30. If you decide to drag this out and you allow the juries to make a decision on this and they hear about you almost paying her $10 million, that's not going to play well. That's not going to play well, Shannon. I'm not going to lie, man. That's not good.
To people who are blackmailed, they have to make the tough choice rather than letting it go out into the public and take care of it the way I am right here in the public and the way Shannon Sharpe bravely did himself on Instagram. But that's the definition of blackmail. The shock that he should say, you know, I'm willing to pay a lot of money to avoid embarrassment to my family. Why is that a shock? It has nothing to do with admitting wrongdoing. So you get my point, Don. I don't mind.
He's 50 some years old, and they're like, why? People are saying, what? Shannon Sharpe, why are you messing with this young person?
Again, I don't have a problem with anybody older messing with a younger woman. It's more so an older man chasing young women. You know, at that advanced age, you shouldn't be chasing younger women. You should not be chasing them. You're a man. You're a professional man. You're an accomplished man. You've made a lot of money. Why are you chasing young women? You know, women should be gravitating to you at this point in your age. He's running around chasing these young women. That's more so my problem. You know, these younger women should be gravitating towards you, not you chasing them. He's chasing this young woman. Paying her $50,000, you know, for ass cheeks and all that. Come on, bro. You was doing too much, Unc. You was doing. Yeah, but I don't have a problem with older men dating younger women. I don't have a problem with that.
Age difference here. And
may I respond to that?
Yeah.
There is a certain mental lapse, imperfection in the human species. And I think it applies to the male gender more than to the female gender, but both genders have human weaknesses. One of the weaknesses does involve sexual activity. And he certainly has stepped up and expressed his regret at the distress he's caused his fans, his family, all of his colleagues at ESPN. He knows that he made some bad judgments. He's not a perfect human being. The fact he went on Instagram and owned this is very important to remember. But please, everybody, it's one thing to ask the question, why would you pay this amount of money, and not finish the answer by saying, excuse me, he was under blackmail. He wanted to protect his family, his privacy, his reputation, and embarrassment from all this horrible lies being put out of context, which is exactly what has happened here.
How is he doing?
So the answer is
we seen him at the draft. So that was pretty much Shannon Sharpe's lawyer. I just wanted to play, you know, because we haven't seen Shannon Sharpe really talk in depth to this stuff. You know, he hasn't really talked about it on Nightcap. He was at the NFL draft today. I just want to get into this one last topic before we call it a night, because I am tired. I didn't plan on being on here all night. I did a whole 2-hour live yesterday, so I just kind of want to wrap this up. There's a theory going out here that allegedly Shaquille O'Neal has something to do with this whole debacle. Now, if anybody knows, Shaquille O'Neal and Shannon Sharpe, they're not too keen on one another. They have a little beef going on. Even Shaquille O'Neal, he made a diss track about Shannon Sharpe. I didn't know about this. Did y'all know about this? Look at this.
Big man. If you haven't noticed, he does. He doesn't like the big man. Rightfully so, because that's his position. He is in his mind.
Shaquille O'Neal making diss tracks about Shannon Sharpe.
He is the apex predator. No matter what no one says, we don't care. He don't care what you say. He don't care. You can throw all the championships and all that. If we lace him up, and we had to, in our prime, had to play against each other in our prime, he thinks he's the apex predator. Those awards hurt him. They irritate the hell out of him.
Yeah.
The image.
They didn't think that I would win, but I won.
Well, you think you would say something about the teams, you ain't gonna say something back?
I got in.
You gotta have G14 classification.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number one.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number beneath me. Your whole demeanor is faker than new rapper beefy. You're soft before you get fly. You rather tweet me.
Oh. He said Shannon Sharpe is soft. You'd rather tweet me.
I was in 3 different cars when you was in 3 feet. All I see is dollar signs. They come in 3D. Make it hot. Ain't no way around my degree. You are not in my spot. You are like a peewee.
Oh. Called this nigga a peewee. That nigga's a peewee.
I got him calling me Rocky the way I read. I get to the green bag. I don't mean a lawnmower. Jet flying, foreign driving, Best Buy and Don Pora.
So that was that was Shaq's diss track to Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, but these two they're not hot on one another. This is Shaq. I mean, this is Shannon Sharpe responding.
And you can't speak. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you're at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people in case you forgot. 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. And to be quite frank, all this success you got still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according, I work less, but not blah, blah, blah. But anyway, love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this ish. Love always. The most dominating big man ever. Never took it serious. Remember, I know you and you know words of Skip Bayless. I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it. You don't. Not in my profession.
Wait, when that happened?
He just about 10 minutes ago.
Wait, Shaq in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was his greatest Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
yes, sir.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now, yes, Shaq has been the one that said that he didn't work as hard, he didn't train as hard, he didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce is better tight than
Hold on.
Shaq, I'm the greatest character. No, am I a top 100 player? No. Am I the equivalent as a football player as Shaq was as a basketball player? No. But what I did do is that I maximized that. And my question, if Shaq and
so pretty much Shannon Sharpe and
because it's rough under the
Shannon Sharpe and Shaq, they've been going back and forth. So pretty much they've been beefing. And a lot of people are claiming, because this audio came out,
when it comes to
they're claiming hold on, y'all. They're claiming that Shaquille O'Neal has something to do with all of this, because Matt Barnes, there's a phone call with Matt Barnes that leaked, and it's saying that, you know, Shaq is pretty much calling around for information on Shannon Sharpe. Let's play that.
I don't know if you're on this kind of time, but I was in a group chat the other day, or actually just yesterday, and Shaq said he's paying top dollar for any information on old boy. So, again, I don't know if you're on that kind of time or not, but Shaq is known to throw large sums of money around, so just want to put that out there. Ain't quiet. Hey, he said, please keep it quiet. He said that Shannon did some shit back to him a while back, and he's been off him. So that's why he's doing this, but please keep his name quiet.
To that. Have you guys talked?
We haven't. Shaq feels the way he feels, and he's perfectly fine to feel that way. I said what I said. I still think Shaq is a phenomenal basketball player, even though, you know, he minimized my career. I'm fine. The thing is,
so pretty much that's what that is. And a lot of people are saying that Shaq has something to do with this whole thing. They're claiming that possibly Shaq may be behind this Tony Busby thing. Now, I don't know if Tony Busby and Shaq know one another. Haven't looked into that. But do you think it's possible? Because listen, Shaq He's another old perv. He's another old perv that, you know, he loves to be. I think Just Hilarious ratted Shaq out maybe like a couple of months ago. Didn't she rat Shaq out talking about he had like 5 white women cooking him breakfast, something like that? Let me see if I can find that. Just Hilarious. Let me see. Just Hilarious Shaq. See if we can find that. Yeah, she talked about.
I'm at Shaq house yesterday, right?
There you go.
Yo. And this man is living like Neo. He got 4 white, they're just big booties. And then like one is in the kitchen cleaning, the other one is in the basement. Like
Shaq,
4.
Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know another Shaq.
Right.
But yes.
He be down in Atlanta.
Guess what, Jeff?
Yeah, he got a house in Atlanta.
And he got 4 wives?
4 white women.
Does Shaq want you to say this?
Yes.
No.
You'll never get invited to his house.
Yeah,
No.
definitely.
Was one of these white women the alleged women that's suing Shannon Sharpe? Is it possible that Shaq, Tony Busby, and Gabriella, whatever her name is, have they concocted this lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe? I don't know. Let me see something. Let me see if Shaq knows Tony Busby. Let me see if they got any pictures together. Shaq, Tony Busby. Let me just take a look at this. Let me see if they got anything. They know one another. I don't see any pictures of them together. Yeah, I don't see any Shaq, Tony Busby pictures. But that doesn't rule them out. But, you know, a lot of people are saying that. Now, I don't know. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't know if there's any legs behind it, but it does look peculiar with all that Shannon Sharpe is dealing with and what all he's struggling with right now. Is Shaq possibly behind this? Is Shaq pulling the strings, if you will? Is he the one puppeteering this woman? Is he paying Tony Busby to take this lawsuit? You know, inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. But, you know, that's just my opinion on that. Listen, thank y'all guys for coming out. It's been a long live. I'm gonna probably do a live tomorrow. But let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you guys think of this live. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to the BX Mail. Salute to FBA. Salute to Chance. Salute to everybody that came out tonight. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'll see you guys at another live, another time. We are out. Toodles.
Repping the road, foreign got it on my name and they toes. These studies announce me honestly, put the seat back in the